Hello everyone, here we are once again. But time lapse there, just welding this bit in, hammering it out a little bit, trimming the flange to the width we need. It's always best to make everything slightly oversized if you can, and trim it back to suit. Next bit, we're gonna make these little pieces for both sides, get those in, and then get the boot lid back on. And check how everything lines up and make any adjustments. On the time lapse, I don't know whether you saw, but I lifted this up slightly with a bit of leverage and welded it so it holds it up. It was sagging a little bit on both sides, so just lifted that a smidge and welded it up. Back to it. So that's both of those fully welded up. What I wasn't expecting was the amount of lead that was in here. I don't know whether you saw on the time lapse when I was cleaning up this area, there were no sparks coming off it. It must be 1/4 of an inch thick. It's pretty thick, but we'll sort out leveling that up later on. Next step, clean up the edge of the boot lid. The front edges, I've welded both of those. I didn't film that bit, but I just need to clean up the insides and then we'll put it back on and see how it looks. Well, that's the lid back on. It fits pretty well. It wants to come this way a little bit, and there's going to be probably a few hours of fine adjustment here and there, but it's pretty good. The inner lip that holds the original style rubber seal, it's all rotten on this, and I'm going to change it. I've got to make a load of it anyway round the corners. It's all rotten round the bottom, and I'm going to change it to a type of lip that'll take a more modern seal, because of what we're doing, you know, taking this to Bonneville and hopefully running it, hopefully getting it there. But I basically want to keep all the salt out of it, so we want a decent seal on doors, boot lid and everything, to keep all the salt out. But that's for another time. I think now let's start making the sill panels, or rocker panels if you're American. Typical of me, I decided to have a quick go with the ox planisher on the rear quarter. Yeah, things, I've said in the past that things can change at the drop of a hat, and with me they do. I'll suddenly decide, right, I'm doing that. That's improved it a little bit more. Soon be ready. It's not far off being ready to prep, really, a lot of it. But let's get back to those sills that I promised you. So the sills, or rocker panels, they need to curve in and out, like a banana lying on its side. They also need to curl up at the front to match the door. The door needs to fit pretty close to these panels so that we can have a seal, like the boot lid, keep the salt out, etc. I don't know whether any of you watch any of the Bonneville or Allman videos, and there's quite a problem with dust getting into the cars and the drivers not being able to see at sort of 200 mile an hour or whatever. So we need to try to stop all that before it starts. Even things like we'll be sealing the door skins to the hinges, probably from the inside with something like Tiger Seal or Sikaflex, one of those sort of things. I'm going to try and make it as airtight, dust tight, whatever you want to call it, as possible. So the sills slash rocker panels they're going to be 2 inches deep. They'll drop down roughly ½ an inch or so, and then there'll be a step which is where the door seal will live. So they'll come out towards you and then they'll drop down again. I'll make these bits 3 inches, slightly oversize, and then we can trim it to suit. There'll also be an inner part to the sill panel, so it'll be sort of a U section by the time it's together. So it'll be 1, 2, 3 or 4 pieces, I'm guessing at the moment. Obviously I want to try and do it in as few pieces as possible, but I'm going to cut out both sides like I usually do, and let's boogie, baby. So those are the 6 pieces, top, front, back. I've got to do fold returns on them now, and what else? Fold returns, and then start shrinking, or shrinking and stretching, to make them curve up and curve in and out. So a bit of everything. So that's all the pieces folded, although there was a bit of a mistake in there. Did anybody spot it? The top piece, the one that'll come out and then drop down, I meant to do that on the tipping wheel on the bead roller, as it's got a front to back arc to it. I mean, I could try and shrink it into that arc, but it'll look a bit of a dog's dinner. So we're going to cut another piece out, do that properly. The pieces I've cut won't go to waste because I need some folded pieces of that length anyway. So nothing goes to waste. It's hard doing this when the cheese is slowly slipping off the cracker. Let's carry on. you're wondering why I didn't go straight to a right angle in one go with the hammer and dolly, it's because if you fold it a lot, it'll stretch it a lot basically. So you can see the curve like that. It would have more of that if you'd hammered it all up in one go. So doing it in two or three stages, or however many it takes, stretches it less, and it's less to shrink back out of it to make it straight again. Well, I think that's a good place to leave off for this week. Tops of the sills are made, both sides roughly shaped to the curvature of the front edge of the door there, which should meet up into the A-post. I need to get inside and sort of mark everything up and measure how high it needs to be from the red oxide box section. It's been a good day. We've achieved a fair bit. It's quite hot and humid in here again, and I fancy going home for a nice cold drink. So catch you next week. Cheers.